Hello everyone, welcome back to Royalty Soaps. My name's Katie Carson. I am the soap artist and Duchess of Suds here on this channel. And I know some of you guys are feeling this hairdo on a spiritual level. Today, I am going to be making 100% natural soap. What does 100% natural soap mean, Katie? Well, to put it bluntly, natural is not a regulated term. So basically anybody can say that their products are natural no matter what's inside of them. However, I have a picky definition of natural, which I think that most people should adhere to and agree with, which is that the soap doesn't contain anything synthetic. Everything in the soap you can find naturally occurring in nature, or it has been extracted from something naturally occurring in nature, like essential oils. So this soap contains natural oils that have been extracted from things like coconuts and olives. It contains natural botanical powders to color it, like spinach powder, so spinach that has been dried and ground into a very fine powder. And then for fragrance, it contains essential oils, which, you know, have been obviously taken from a plant. To my recollection, this is the first time I have ever done a 100% natural soap on this channel, and as I was thinking further back, I know I've done some unscented ones in the past, but as far as trying to color and fragrance with essential oils, never really done that before, and I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. If you aren't following me on Instagram, I have two, one for Royalty Soaps. There's often sneak peeks over there, and I do some polls about what you guys would like to see either on the channel or in the shop in the coming weeks. So if you want your voice to be heard, you should follow me over there. And then of course I have, you know, personal Instagram for personal stuff. So without further ado, let's make some soap. Now in this bucket today, I have a completely new recipe. I amended the one that I made for the George Takei commenters. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it now up in the upper right hand corner. It contains coconut oil, cocoa butter, avocado oil, castor oil, and olive oil. So no sweet almond oil, no palm oil. I get a lot of requests for no sweet almond oil, so there you go. This recipe doesn't have any. The lime water solution that I'm pouring in does not have the full water amount I normally use. I normally use, I think it's 33%. It's hard for me to remember off the top of my head right now. It's late. But it has a little less than that because I had to mix up the natural colorants with some hot water. So I just discounted whatever I used. I ended up using 12 ounces to mix the colorants into. So I just took 12 ounces out of my total water weight. So now I'm going to blend on low until just past emulsification. So we're gonna split the batch off into 3 equal portions, and then to each one we will add the natural colorant blended with water and also the essential oil. The natural colorants that I'm using today and the essential oils are both from Brambleberry, so I'll leave you guys links to them down below. I'm gonna scrapey my big container, and it's not necessary for all of these to be 100% perfectly even. They're gonna be uneven layers in between them anyway, so it's not really gonna matter. We are, however, gonna be working with 1 layer at a time, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove 2 buckets, and we will start with this first one here. The first colorant we're going to be adding is this. It is red sandalwood powder, again from Brambleberry. I have mixed it with 4 ounces of water. I mixed it this morning. The water was boiling hot, and it has been sitting all day long in this water mixture. And again, remember, I discounted my water to account for the amounts that I'm gonna be adding into each one of my buckets. So I'm just gonna pour that right in. And what you're gonna notice is that as I mix this, even though the red was a really vibrant color of red, it's gonna turn purple. So let's blend that right in. Look at that. Look, it turned already. I didn't even have to like stick blend it. Absolutely gorgeous natural colorant. The essential oil I am adding today is lavender 4020. I'm pretty sure that this is the most commonly used lavender essential oil. And even though, once again, I'm not a huge fan of lavenders, this one smells a little sweeter than the ones I've smelled. I don't know. The ones that I've smelled, and at least the ones I can remember, came straight from France, and they were really, really potent. But this is toned down a little, and I like it. Now, each essential oil should be added to your soap soap at a different rate. It goes the same way for fragrance oil, even though most fragrance oils you kind of just add at like 5%. You need to check your manufacturer website because sometimes it's less than that, sometimes you can add a bit more. But essential oils, it's pretty different for every single one. The essential oil is starting to thicken my batter, which is awesome because it's gonna make layering really, really easy. So let's start pouring into our slab mold. Got my slab mold here that Kenny made me, and even though this is thick, once again, the layers are gonna be uneven, so it really doesn't matter. I'm gonna scrapey out my container. That smell is really strong. I went ahead and used the maximum amount for this soap that was recommended. So I'm just gonna make sure that this has gotten into all 4 corners, but once again, I'm not like gonna wipe down the sides or anything like that. Just gonna smear it around like so. In fact, I might try to add a little bit of texture even with my spatula. To the next layer, we're gonna be adding some chamomile powder. So this is chamomile flowers that have been crushed and ground to a very fine powder with some water, and also some apricot seed powder. So that's gonna add just a teeny tiny bit of exfoliation. I don't expect this part of the mixture to turn the soap much of a color. It might, but probably not. I actually think the essential oil is gonna do the heavy lifting for the color. So let me start mixing this in. I'll start here with my stick blender, not blending fully. Well, it did add a little bit. Slight olive, sort of mustardy tint. Excuse me, my apologies if I mispronounce this. I believe it's pronounced Litsi Cubeba. I'm not sure, I could be wrong. You guys know I'm not exactly wonderful with pronunciations, but it is a really citrusy smelling essential oil. It doesn't necessarily smell like lime or lemon or any specific, it just smells citrusy in general. Stick blended that for just a hot second to make sure that everything is incorporated. So now it's time to pour this into our slab mold. I am pouring this gently on top. That first layer has set up quite a bit, so I can just let the second one sort of leak over it. It's like lava flowing over a mountaintop. Just come over here to this corner. Make sure everybody gets some. And then once again, we'll start scraping out our big container. This sort of smells like lemon poppy seed bread to me. Smells super good. And this is the first time, I'm pretty sure it's the first time that I have ever worked with only essential oils, like not mixed into fragrance oil at all on this channel. So you guys are here for history. This one's still pretty runny. That fragrance oil didn't make it set up. It's not a floral, so that's probably why. I think I just said fragrance oil. I meant essential oil. Okay, so once again, I'm just gonna lightly texture the top. This one's a little runnier than the first layer is, so it might have less definition, but it certainly won't be a straight line, and that's all I really care about. The top has been textured a little bit, so we'll move along to the cocoa powder line. You'll be able to see it on this layer a lot easier because it's not dark purple. Second cocoa powder line is done, so let's move on to the third and final layer, and this is the one I'm most excited about. For the third and final layer, we're going to be adding some spinach powder, so it's gonna be a nice green. It's a little thicker than the other powders that I put together today. It really soaked up that water, but it's still definitely manageable. I've used spinach powder before. I used it for a tomato vine soap that I made in 2018. You wanna see that soap? I'll link it now. Sorta looks and sorta smells like baby food. I'll just take my stick blender and kind of mix it around in the soap like this. I won't even start blending yet. Oh yes. Yes, it's so beautiful. And for this third and final layer, we will be adding some lemon eucalyptus essential oil blend. All of these essential oils really tie in together. I wanted it to be sort of lemony, sort of lavendery, and then just have a little tiny bit of mint in there, and that's essentially what this has done. Ooh, it smells so good. It makes my nose tingly. Essential oil is blended in, so let's go ahead and pour the final layer. All right, I'm gonna use my spatula to sort of guide the soap onto the second layer here. Even though it is mostly set up, I still would like to break the fall just in case. And then I layered the colors as I did because I just really wanted to see the green on top. I think it's really pretty. The essential oils are strong enough to overpower the scent of the natural botanicals, which I'm glad for because again, they all kind of smell like vegetables. To get the full vibrancy out of your natural colors, you would ideally like to gel them. Now, mine may end up gelling just anyway because I'm working at a higher temperature than I normally do. I also have more water than I normally do, and it's in a wooden mold, which is a pretty good insulator. But if you have the option to force it to gel by either putting it on a heating pad or popping your silicone molds into the oven at a very, very, very low heat, like the lowest your oven can go, and then keeping an eye on it to see if it makes that ring that spreads to the edges, that is gonna get you the most out of your natural colorants. For the top, I'm gonna do a basic spoon texture. I say basic because it's simple, but actually the results are quite pretty when the soap is cut. Nothing basic about it, really. Now that the texture is done, we're also gonna add some botanical or natural additives on top just to tie in the whole natural theme together. The first thing I'll add is some pink sea salt. This will contrast against the green pretty well. I'm just gonna sprinkle it on top, let it fall where it will, including on my floor apparently. And I'm also going to add some lavender buds. Thank you so much to the subscriber who left me a link to this lavender on Amazon in one of the comments of my YouTube videos. This should let you guys know I definitely read your comments, and she was right. This is the most purple, vibrant lavender I've ever seen. It's organic, it comes in a beautiful jar, and it was worth every single penny. Just gonna take a small handful and sprinkle it lightly on the top. We don't wanna pat these down because remember, soap has a tendency to turn lavender buds brown, and we don't want that. So I'm barely letting it touch the wet soap. I will now very lightly spritz the top with rubbing alcohol to help prevent soda ash, and that is it. My 100% natural soap is complete. We are back 24 hours later to cut the slab, and honestly, whenever I split it, I was just like, this looks way better than I thought it was going to. I think I've always strayed away from natural soaps because there was just something in my brain that told me like they had to be really boring, but I don't think this is boring. I'm really pleased with the smell. It's pretty heavy on the citrus, but the lavender, especially if you smell down in the layer that has it, is also really nice. So the blend is great. Now to cut this, because there's botanicals on top and so many people requested it, I tested it out to see if it works, and it does. I'm gonna turn it towards me. I'm gonna turn all the botanicals toward me, and this flat end we're gonna have facing you guys, and that's so that when the wires go down, they never push up against the flowers. Now originally I didn't do this because I thought my cutter may push this entire loaf even harder up against the back edge and it would mess up the top, but upon testing it doesn't seem to do that. It seems to actually kind of hold itself in place really good. So I'm gonna put my sample pieces there. Those are gonna be really pretty, and then it doesn't really, like I said, push forward very much, which is nice. So I'll just apply with even pressure all the way down. Take one out of the middle and this is what it looks like on the inside. That red sandalwood powder turned a lovely kind of maroon shade, and then of course in the middle we have a very light, almost an oatmeal color, so the yellow sort of went away, and then the spinach is obviously that nice green on top. And I do expect that these colors will lighten over time. That's pretty typical of botanical powders, but I'm also gonna keep them out of direct sunlight, so hopefully we can sort of mitigate the fading a little bit. I'll hold it up even closer so you can see that cocoa powder mica line, and then of course on top we've got the little salts and also the lavender buds. For basically my first like 100% natural soap, I'm pretty pleased with this. And the fact that it doesn't have sweet almond oil or palm oil in it, I think is also a big plus. So I'm gonna remove all of these bars, and I've had some sitting off to the side for a couple of hours now, and we're going to stamp those with my new soap stamp. This is with the new Royalty Soaps logo. It's from Bebe's collection. That is an Etsy shop online. I have purchased stamps from them, I think 4 times now. The first one that I did was when I was actually still taking custom orders and I was doing a wedding soap, and they wanted like a custom stamp for the couple. I can't recommend them enough. It does come all the way from, I think, Taiwan, but it was here really, really quick. It wasn't like one of those AliExpress type things when you're waiting for like 45 days. It was here in 2 weeks. So here's the soap that I made. It's like smudging my table. It's been sitting for a couple hours, and here's my stamp. So I'm gonna center my stamp right here in the middle. And then I'm gonna take this rubber mallet. I think I got this off of Amazon, but I'm pretty sure you can get it at like Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever other hardware store you have near you. I've never used this stamp before. This is the first time I'm doing it on camera, so I hope it looks good. Okay, now for the big reveal. Perfect, look at that. And here's the little Royalty Soaps logo up close, embedded in the 100% natural soap. While I line out some more soaps for me to stamp, Caleb is gonna ask the question of the day.
Would you rather be colorblind or lose your sense of taste?
Caleb, why you gotta bring us down in this manner? It'd probably be easier for me to eat healthy if I couldn't taste it. To vote on the question of the day, please click the I in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased. I'm so delighted. I want to do more natural soaps in the future. Do you guys think I should do that? Weigh in the comments below, because I totally pay attention, as shown with the lavender. I'm listening to you guys. I'm trying to cater to your needs, your wants. This soap will be available to purchase on February 4th, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, royaltysoaps.com, with the Wonderland and Valentine's Day release. Thank you so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell if that's your sort of thing. And be sure to do something fun for yourself today, whether that is purchasing a few 100% natural products to make your home more eco-friendly and safe for your children, or just buying regular laundry detergent because it smells good. Either way, do something that makes you happy, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye for now. Meow.